I see that there are people who are waiting to ask questions, and I would ask our friends from the Party for Socialism and Liberation, who I hear you, I understand you, and there are other people in our community who have questions. So I appreciate what you're sharing with us, what you're saying to us, what you're telling us, and I would ask you to allow the people who have come with questions to ask those questions. You may also have questions and ask questions. That is fine. But please respect those who have come here to have questions answered and addressed. So I see a question here. Please.
Hi. Who's going to gather the evidence, like the video evidence? Is it the police themselves? Because when I filed a complaint against the Cambridge Police Department in the past, I actually found more video evidence of what actually happened than the police did themselves. And they said, what are we supposed to do? Knock on every door and ask everybody for evidence? And they didn't do it. So I'm wondering who's going to gather the evidence. Is it the police themselves?
I will ask the district attorney, well, she's on her way here.
So, yes, the police look for the evidence. We also, I have here tonight Trooper DeLucia from the state police assigned to our office. People want to have a conversation about that. We are obvious that we've been posting, and I think there's a flyer here somewhere that has numbers if people know about information that people have. People may have been in the area and seen something. All of that, we are looking to gather as much information as may be out there.
Justice for Faisal! Justice for Faisal! Justice for Faisal! Justice for Faisal! Good evening, everybody. I am Muhammad Salim. I started my journey was 2013 in Cambridge, nice city. But I cannot stand out Cambridge, nice city. When we lost our kids 20 years only, last Wednesday, 4th January, we lost everything. When we lost our kids, Faisal, we lost our hope, all hope. We have nothing to left in our future. We have nothing to left for our journey. So, my question to the police commissioner, my question to the district attorney, my question to all the officials who now in the here. When we see media release one video, Faisal is running without shot, behind 4 police officers running. My question, why they not stop the Faisal without shooting? Why they do not stop Faisal without shooting? Faisal maybe only 100 or 80 found. But those police officers running behind 4, they have more than 20 pounds, 200 pounds, sorry. Why they not stop without shooting? Second question, there is only option to shoot the chest. Why they not under the knee or any other? Why? What is the training of the Cambridge police? What is the training of the Cambridge police? Shoot to the chest, not to the under the knee. So, last question, of this here. We need to proper and close investigation and transparent investigation. And it is the last shooting in the Cambridge, or we want to wait again for any slogan here. It is the last shooting for any kids or anybody by police, or wait for another one. We want to stop here. We want to stop here. We want to stop here. Justice for Faisal. Justice for Faisal. Justice for Faisal. Justice for Faisal.
So, two things. One, I neglected to say, we planned this meeting to go till 8 o'clock. We won't stop the meeting at 8, but we also want to be respectful to people who feel like they will need to go. I should have said that at the beginning. I'm going to come over, I think, to our city manager to start to address this question about what we can talk about, what we can reveal. There was a lot in there, obviously. So there were questions about why did the police do certain things. Yeah, let me try to do this because my job is not to answer questions, but I'm not sure who, if it's a district attorney, but there are questions about what happened in this specific case that the district attorney is investigating. Those are questions that can't be answered while the investigation is underway. I don't know, District Attorney, do you feel you have something to add to help people understand? No. It's so, and the,
Thank you, Brian. I think maybe it'll be helpful for us to just be a little bit clear which questions we should answer, because I think the purpose is for us to be here to answer questions. I think what's really difficult is some of this is a really difficult conversation where I wish we had better answers. I think So I think maybe one of the things that's difficult right now is we are receiving many questions and we can work through each of them. And so,
It's the same question.
well, I have heard questions about policy, about how police officers are trained, and I think we can start with that, and maybe we can move from there.
If she can walk us through the process, the training process, what they go through. This officer is 7 years in this police department, right?
Yes.
I'm assuming he went
Yes.
through this training process.
Yes.
So can you walk us through this is what you do?
So what I can walk you through when it comes to use of force is there is a force continuum that we have to go through when we're encountering somebody. So I'm going to just speak generally about that. And there's levels of resistance. You have a compliant person, you have somebody who is passively resisting and actively resisting, and then you have somebody who's causing, could cause harm. And we have to go up through a use of force continuum. In some cases, depending on what we're faced with, we won't necessarily go up through the entire force continuum, depending on the circumstances of each case. So specifically when it comes to lethal force, we try to go up through a continuum. We want to start with the lowest level of force possible. We want to try to gain voluntarily compliance. And then if that doesn't work, we move up the continuum and again try to gain compliance. Our whole goal and what we value more than anything is the sanctity of life. So we're trying to, resolve a situation as peacefully as we possibly can. And each situation is different and each circumstance requires different levels of force, just generally. But I can try to answer more specific questions about what the use of force policy is. And if I can just say again, on Wednesday, we are going to be talking in depth about our use of force and training. And you can see slides and exactly how we go up that force continuum, which I think will be really informative.
Okay, so you mentioned transparency and you guys gonna go through this, right? The officer who killed this boy, he's in paid leave, maybe having margarita in Florida. Why aren't you suspending him, firing him, saying, hey, look, as long as the investigation goes, you are not going to the street and you're gonna kill someone else. Well, it is in your power. You can do it, but you decided not to do it. You decided to give him a paid leave. so he can go have fun. The second fault is, in my second fault question, the second
I'm
fault.
sorry, can we at least allow our brother to ask his questions without the shouting over him?
Yes, so my second fault question is, there are officers are going to Faisal's friends and family's house at night, knocking doors. It is in your power to stop that. Can you commit to this community that you're gonna stop that and make sure that happens tonight? It is in your power. You don't have to go to any investigation for that. So can you please, all these people, that you're gonna make sure that happens?
So I know that we're talking about an active investigation. I really want to look to the district attorney as far as what those processes are. We are, again, involved in an active investigation into this incident, and that's, really all I can say about that, and that does require us to talk to people. I do understand that this is, really upsetting to people.
You can go during daytime. There is time period you can go. Do not, because right now we don't trust you. You lost your trust. So when you come at night, me, my friends, my families, my community are scared. You may kill me. I don't know. I don't know what your intention is. So can you please at least stop that? Do it during daytime. When it's dark, don't come to our houses. Stop it. And when are you going to suspend that killer officer? Until the investigation is done, he is no longer allowed to come to Cambridge Police. Because my kid, just like your kid, my kid asked me, he goes to UMass Lowell, said, Dad, am I safe in Cambridge? And I said, no, you're not. No, you're not. Because he's still in paid leave, and he's having margaritas. I don't know what he's doing. So can you please tell these people, because they want answers. They want to be safe. They want to be able to sleep at night.
Amen.
We can't.
Amen.
I understand the pain that's here, and what I can tell you is there's going to be a complete and thorough investigation, which we are cooperating with 100%. And, we want to work hard to regain that trust. I understand that people are hurt. I understand that trust has been shaken. I'll tell you from the bottom of my heart, I want to regain the trust of our community. This means a lot. This is a place where I grew up. This is a place that means a lot to me. The children, I have children, right? This community means a lot to me, and I want to heal from this.
First step, you get just honest.
All right, so I appreciate the brother's statements and questions, and I would ask that we go to our next question person.
Oh, yeah, sure. We'll you can go to me. We'll have lots of questions because you didn't answer his.
And I will ask that people ask maybe one or two, because part of the challenge is when there are long statements with 7 or 8 questions, and there are a lot of people in line. So we're here, and we ask that you give us the space to try to answer the questions, even if you don't expect we have answers.
You can't do your job and quit.
Yeah, I'm Fatima with Muslim Justice League. I think most people here will be fine with me asking multiple questions. But I would also appreciate if the DA can be on stage, because I thought we were going to be able to ask questions of all 3 of you. Is that correct? Okay. So,
I'll just say, if you have a question for any particular person, you can certainly say that.
oh, totally. Yeah. So a question that he just asked that was not answered, I think, for the city manager and police commissioner. It is unclear to me as an expert reading through the Cambridge police contract why exactly the officer would be on paid leave instead of being actually suspended. Why and how long does he get to be on paid leave while this investigation happens? Because you're saying it will take a long time.
Can I just answer that first? So, they are on leave while the investigation
Paid,
is going
correctly?
on.
Paid,
They're
right?
on leave, yes, it is.
Why?
And while this investigation is on.
Why?
If you allow people to finish their statements, they can try to answer the questions. Please, I understand there's a lot of passion, understandable anger, fear in this room, and we're here to do our best to answer those questions, but if you continue to speak out so loud that we can't speak, we can't answer the questions. So please, please allow that. Even when you don't like the answer, you can allow the answers to come out, please.
So they will be on paid leave until this investigation is concluded.
So possibly years. Like, how long is that?
Maybe I can just jump in. I will say, I think I just want to recognize that there are many people in this room, and I understand it, who believe they know the answer already.
I don't. I'm genuinely asking how long.
And I'm saying, no, not the question of how long, but I'm saying about the paid leave question. And I think what the police commissioner is saying is that while the investigation is being completed and the facts are being found, the officer is on paid leave because we have not determined at this point whether
Do you have an
there should
estimate
be
for how
discipline.
long the investigation would take?
Yes, I will refer that to the district attorney. Thank you.
Where?
There's nothing answered. You're saying nothing.
As to the answers to some specific factual questions, as I indicated at the beginning, we have not yet had the opportunity to have a full conversation with the family. We are not going to share for the first time some information here that the family has not heard. And I would hope that people would respect that boundary. When there's an event that occurs like this, we have a family in, we share what we are able to share with them. For anybody who's lost someone, and particularly for a parent, it is not at all unreasonable that now, 7 days later, the family is not yet in a position to hear that information. It certainly is not information that we are going to put out that they might hear for the first time from the media or from a community report.
Okay.
So we aren't going to have that
Let's go to the
conversation.
next question.
As to the length of time, I can base that on the prior inquest we have done. And it has been 7 to 8 months before the information comes back, the reports and the forensic things that we're waiting from the medical examiner and ballistics and all of that. And then we present that to the judge, and the judge has conducted the inquest and has made their findings. So that's kind of a rough ballpark. We don't have control of that timing piece. We wait for the medical examiner, for ballistics, for everybody who's doing that forensic piece. That comes back, then the judge schedules days to hear that, we present that, then the judge has time to reflect and make his or her findings. So I can't give you a day and time, I can't set that piece. And as I said, the judge has complete control. A judge may hear whatever witnesses we bring in and then say, I'd like to hear 3 more witnesses. A judge may say, I'd like to know what the person in the next house heard. Bring that person in. So that can extend. I can't give you that day, but that's kind of the ballpark. As I said, we've done 3 of these so far. There are 2 others pending. The one that began yesterday, they expect to go into next week, the hearing itself.
Okay.
It's a formula for a cover-up.
I think there is a question of independence. There's also a question of a complete and thorough investigation. That's what I hear people asking for. That gets done when we have the information. We're not going to proceed, for instance, without the information from the medical examiner.
So the next question
We're
for
not-
you
we're not gonna-
on that, just for the sake of time, for you on collecting information, another question that he asked that was not answered is in the immediate aftermath of this, I have had multiple community members, his friends and loved ones call us because the Cambridge police are going around knocking on their doors, asking for statements from his friends and loved ones about what was going on with him leading up to this, which I hope everyone here knows, and especially the Bengali community. If the police or FBI knock on your door, don't talk to them without an attorney. You call me.
I completely agree with you. No one ever has to talk to us. So there is.
But I'm sure you know that knocking on people's doors for whom English might be a second language is, of course, intimidating, and people might not realize they should have an alternative.
And we are happy to, there are two kinds of talking to people. There is, first of all, what we call a canvas, where people go through the neighborhood where something happened. We are literally going door to door and asking whether people are home, whether they might have, were home, whether they might have heard or seen something. Do they have a camera on their home? Would they be willing to allow us to access that? So that piece, we were doing that much of the last week, talking to people in the neighborhood and in parts of the city where this event unfolded. Yes, we are doing a thorough investigation. That includes people that, as you can imagine, what often happens when you're doing an investigation is I talk to you and you say, oh, so-and-so worked at this place, or something else. You give me some other piece that we're following up on. No one has to talk to us about that. We are happy, and that's why I have the folks from my office who are doing the investigation here tonight. We are happy to facilitate doing that in any way that would make people feel safer. So if people want to give us information, that we can call them and set things up. If people say, I'd like to go to a particular place, if you want to be a point of contact to set some people up,
Send it all through me. The NLG is ready to take on all of these folks, so you don't.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said happily, send the police to me first if you want.
We're here, we'll be happy to go outside and have that conversation. We are committed to getting as much good information as we can get. We will do
And
whatever.
are you canvassing the officers, friends and families to understand what was going on in his life?
I am here tonight is we are committed to an independent, full, and thorough investigation. We want to get whatever information people want to share with us. I'm here, my staff is here, we will set it up in any way that makes people share best when, number one, there is not a language issue, we're able to deal with that. When people feel comfortable, people can have whoever with them they want to talk. That's what I'm here for tonight. So I am happy to do that. I will be here till the end. My staff is here to set up whatever we need to make people feel comfortable and safe to do that.
Great. Just a reminder for the community, the National Lawyers Guild, myself, the Mass Criminal Defense, we have attorneys ready for you if they show up at your door. Call me. Question for the city manager. This community has raised over $50,000 already for the family, held the janazah, we had a memorial yesterday. What has the city offered the family besides your condolences?
The city is mourning with the family. I would say to all of you, I think it may seem like the city is run by people who are not like the people in this room, but the city is run by people who are like you in this room. And I will say, we do talk like you a lot. And I think in this moment, I will say we are feeling this deep pain, and we want to find a way to move forward together.
If you cared, you'd quit your job.
And I will say, for those who, I think I actually feel a little bit, I'm not sure if there are those who have other questions who want to speak.
Give his paid leave to the family.
I think maybe what I'm trying to process a little bit
Give his paid leave to the family.
I will say maybe what I'm trying to process a little bit is, I think that we are having a community meeting and a protest at the same time. And I understand that. I understand that the pain
No, a
in our
community meeting would be run by us and actually allowing us to share our feelings. I really don't care how you feel in this moment. You have to understand the pain that they are feeling when a child is taken from us. A child who participated in the mural in Somerville. He is in that mural. A kid who was going to UMass Boston, who worked at CVS. I have people finding out from our emails that he was taken from him. This is not a community meeting. This was for you to pretend that you were going to do something. You're not giving us any answers. I'll happily cede my time to the other folks who have plenty of rage and questions for you, but please know you'll be hearing from us.
Thank you.
If we can go to the other side first. Thank you, sir.
Hi, I have a few questions, but I would ask, just out of respect for the community here, if you could please use the word that is murder. And my first question is, clearly the suspect in this murder has been identified. What is his name? Or her name, or their name?
We want the truth! Yes.
No, I know this is not gonna make people happy, but it is a long-standing city policy that we do not release the names. There is a...
Can I go to the next question then? Could I go
There
to
is
the next
an
question?
active and ongoing investigation. We need to protect the integrity of the investigation. You know, what we can tell you is kind of what you already know, that they've been on the police department for 7 years. And that's all I have for that. We are not releasing the names at this time. What I will say is, as the district attorney mentioned, when this inquest process is over, everything, including all of the names, will be released. So you will be able to see all of the names and all of the details of this tragic incident.
My second question is, and I think maybe other people in the room have experienced this too, when witnessing police violence against a neighbor, the police came and they tried to take my phone, and they said because I was trying to record, they had the right to take my phone, and I'm wondering if you could tell now, and then they came looking for me a year later on my way to work, and I think it would be helpful for all of us to know what our rights are when we are seeing something, if they're just going to take our phone away. And my other question is, I think that a lot of people in this room, this is more of a question for the elected and unelected people who are running the city budget, right? Like clearly this was a situation where somebody needed something and the police were sent instead and chased him down and killed him. Okay, I think a lot of people in this room don't want a $73 million budget for the police department. And when the mayor, when Mayor Siddiqui came around canvassing, and I was like, why do the police come with guns? And Mayor Siddiqui said that that's the state law, that we have to have guns. And I'm wondering, what is the minimum budget? If there is some requirement that the city can't get around, what is the minimum budget for the police? And are you willing to cut it down and put that money into things that would actually have helped and that would help the people in this community with mental health issues, including these fledgling organizations that are trying to do the kind of work that should have been done in this situation, and also affordable housing. So I'm wondering, what is the legal minimum that you have to do to comply with the law for the city budget? And are you willing to cut and put that money where we actually need it?
If I could answer the question first about the phone, and I'd like to try to get some more information about the when and where. I want to find out who you talked to and what happened.
Coming to my house and again, so I don't want to talk.
If I can also say just one more point with that, right? We also have a police review and advisory board where if you had an interaction with the police or if you feel like we acted in a way that was inappropriate, you can file a complaint through the police review and advisory board, which is separate from the police. So I'd like to know more about the information so it can be responsive to
No, I
the
don't
needs.
think it's safe or comfortable to file a complaint with the police about the police, and I certainly wouldn't do that. But thank you for sharing that information.
And then to the
Could you
budget.
answer, and you're the unelected, and then we have some elected officials, and I'm wondering, what's the minimum? And how low can you push it so we can actually have a city with affordable housing and real public safety?
And no cops!
If I could just speak to the budget, I will just say this is it's a difficult moment to be having a conversation about the budget. The budget process is about to kick off, and so there will be opportunities. The council is going to have input. That is the way that our city governance works. The council is elected. We then have public hearings about the budget, and the council votes on it. And so I know that in this room, there are many people who want the police budget to be lower. But we also have a city that involves a lot of different viewpoints. And I'm happy to have a larger conversation about the police budget.